We're using a MacBook Pro and we've got a ZeePrompt monitor here, which is just an external HDMI monitor linked with the HDMI output on the MacBook Pro. Now the first thing to do before running any software is to go into the display settings and just double check here that you've got use as mirror for monitor. Now what this means is it's going to duplicate this display onto the external display. The other option is you can extend the display, but we don't want that. So if yours is not set to mirror for monitor, then go ahead and change that. Another crucial setting is the optimize for, and this needs to be set to monitor. So the option is you could set to the MacBook Pro, and this will, unfortunately, this will make the scrolling jerky sometimes on the external monitor. So it's important to set this to optimize for monitor. Finally, if your MacBook has ProMotion, it's worth choosing the 60Hz option here just to help with performance. If you're on Windows, then just go into the display settings and double check that the display resolution is correct and also that you are set to duplicate these displays. Okay, so we can go ahead and close that and then we can open ZeeCue. So this is ZeeCue version 2. And if you've not used ZeeCue before, this is a really quick start guide for you. So this is now opened up in edit mode, so you've got the controls at the bottom here, and the main area here is where the text goes. So you want to go ahead and find some text. So here we've got a Word doc in Google, so we'll select all by Command A and then Command C to copy all of that text. Then jump back to ZeeCue, Command V to paste. So it's as simple as that. So we've now got all the text ready to go. Now often I will just drop in a couple of returns in there just to get the text down. And then to start prompting, you just simply hit Escape and all of the menu bar at the bottom has disappeared. And then hit Space and it's as simple as that. So to control the speed you can use two-finger gesture on the trackpad, or you can use the left and right keypad, or you can use the mouse scroll wheel. If you need to stop, you can hit the left mouse or the space bar. You can quickly reposition if you need to. If you need to quickly make an edit, you can hit Escape and you can just go in and change. And then as soon as you're ready to go, just hit Escape again and you're back into prompt mode. Now whilst you're in prompt mode, if you need to quickly alter the text size, you can Command plus and minus. And if you need to navigate through the script, you can just press the down key or the up key and it will take you to where you need to go. Command up will return you back to the beginning and Command down will take you to the end of the script. So we'll just queue up this line here and we'll start scrolling by pressing the left mouse. Now what you'll find often during a read is if the talent makes a mistake, you want to go back to the start, you can just hit the right mouse button and it will take you straight back to where you last pressed the start button. And whilst in the middle of prompting, you can also use the up and down keys to go back. And then just start again. So that's a really quick start guide of using ZeeCue. Now if we go back into edit mode, I'll just run through some of the options in these menus. So here you can alter the font size. Now it's quite handy when you're making lots of changes just to shrink the text right down, so you can get a good overview of everything here. If you want to change the font, this just changes the font for the whole script. You can't do individual paragraphs or lines. It just simply swaps out the whole font. So I'll just put that back. And same with alignment, you can change the alignment of the text. And we've got all the usual styling options here as well, so you can highlight particular paragraphs, style them however you like. You can change the background color or highlight color. And you can also change the font color. We've got a find and replace text feature, which is fairly self-explanatory. And over here we've got our file management system, so you can save scripts. So I'll go ahead and save that. It's useful to remember as well that this will auto-save every 3 minutes, or you can Command S and save the file. And here you can open files. We've got open, new file, save as, and export text. Now export text will simply export a plain text file. So here we'll go into the advanced tab. So here we've got the scroll speed, which you would normally control whilst you're doing a prompt. We've got margin width, margin position. This is quite useful if your talent is moving their eyes a bit too much left and right. You can narrow things down quite a lot and then just make sure that the positioning is right over the lens. Line height. The eyeline size sets the size of the markers at the side of the page, and the eyeline position moves where you want the pointers to be. And you can change the colour of that if you want to. And here you can select whether you have the eyeline markers on or off. Now this scroll speed sensitivity button, so if you're using the mouse to control the speed, the mouse wheel, then you may need to turn this on or off depending on how responsive the mouse is during the scroll. So let's just go into prompt mode now and start the prompt. So the speed now is working perfectly well. I've got good range of speed using the mouse wheel. But let's just jump out of there and switch this off just so I can show you what this does. So I'll start the scroll again. Now what happens now is the speed is moving far too quickly. And this is just depends on how you've got your mouse and your laptop set up, whether you use this control or not. But right now this is far too fine a control for me to be able to use it properly. So that's what the speed sensitivity control is. So for me, I'm going to switch that on. New to version 2 are these icons at the bottom of the screen here, which simply aid the operator as to what's going on in the app. So we've got the play and pause icon here. And then under that is the speed control, and that just gives you an indication of speed from 1 to 25. Next down is the estimated total read time. Now this is based on the speed you've got at the moment, so if you change the speed, that's obviously going to change the read time. And then right at the bottom is the estimated remaining read time. Now these are just only estimates, so it's just a guide. To control the visibility of this, you can escape and go into advanced settings, and here is the prompt icon opacity. So you can turn this right down to 0 and it will disappear, or you can turn it right up and it will be full brightness. We'll take a look at the bookmarks feature now. This is useful if you've got quite a long script and you want to save particular points in the script that you can recall quickly during prompting. So for instance, let's mark this section here. So you can Command 1. So that's saved that one, and then we'll mark perhaps this one here, Command 2, and then we will just go back down to this one and hit Command 3. So if you look at this drop down now, you've got 3 bookmarks that we've saved, and we can just go through them by click on that one, and that one, and that one. So I've got those saved, so we'll enter prompt mode, and if you hit 1, we'll jump straight up to the bookmark that we saved, number 2 and number 3. So it's quite easy to jump through the different bookmarks. So this is really useful if you need to navigate through large scripts. In version 2 of ZeeCue, we've included the option to use a standard air mouse to control the scrolling. This is useful for solo operators, for instance. This just plugs into the USB and just connect the accessory. So once you're all hooked up, just hit escape to enter prompt mode, and when you're ready to go, just hit the middle button, which is the left mouse button, and you start scrolling, and you can control the speed using the right and left controls, and stop and start, and you can scroll through using the up and down. And because we've saved our bookmarks, we can use the page up and page down on the remote control to skip through to those saved bookmarks. So we'll just go back up, and that's where we saved our first one, and you can skip straight through to those bookmarks. Some of these wireless mouse controllers will have an option to turn off the pointer. So you can see here I've got the pointer, which can sometimes be distracting, or sometimes you can hit the edge of the screen and it forces the menu up. So you can turn this off, just move the mouse out of the way, and it will keep the mouse pointer out of your way. Now when you disable the mouse pointer on this particular controller, unfortunately you lose the right mouse button, so you can't use that. But you've always got the page up and page down button to jump through the bookmarks that you saved previously, and you can just start from there again. If ever you need to deactivate ZeeCue, you can just head over to the About button and click Deactivate, and it will always ask if you want to deactivate the license, so we'll just close that down. So that's it. If ever you need any help, you can just click on the Help button. It will bring up the instructions. I always suggest you read those. But if you do have any questions, just feel free to email our support and we'll do everything we can to help.